Weird. It was like
Oh,
right.
okay, you know what? Go ahead. One more
And
time.
we're back.
All
Here we go.
right.
3, 2.
1. There we
There we
go.
go.
Nice.
And we're back.
Who forgot to first record this time?
I don't know. We'll all take the blame. One big team here. It's all of our fault.
Anywho, I apologize for my tiny bladder.
No, dude, it was perfect timing because as soon as he walked out of the room, we lost power to our mics and it shut off. So
Wah, wah, wah.
So, question: what's your definition of hydration? Because
Hydration.
every time I drink a lot of water, I just piss. So I'm assuming I'm not even hydrated.
Before the hydration, can I address the question you had before?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Which was hold on, thinking. Oh,
The
diets.
workout, yeah,
Yes,
workout and those
the
I call
30
them
days challenge, 90
fake
day
diets, yeah.
Yes, they're fake diets. So going back to the diet style things, diets are crap, to put it bluntly, because all it is, it's your habits. Because you can be in a diet, you can white knuckle it through, and yeah, you'll get results, but then you gain the weight back with interest.
True.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm heavier than what I was when I started. And it's because of the same thing. It's like you crush your metabolism and then you go back to your old habits and you're eating 2,000 calories more a day. And now your metabolism is like, all right, I guess we store that as fat. So that's what happens. And that's why I kind of really don't like the 30-day challenge, the 60 days, the 90 days, and 10 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Because all what it boils down to are habits. Because if it wasn't for habits, I wouldn't kept the weight off.
Yeah.
Because I dived into keto. I dived into carnivore as of late. I did the low fat. I did the low carb. And it's just, at the end of the day, I just eat normal. It's like, yeah, at times I might dive into keto for a week because of X, Y reason. Like in this November, December, I had a couple of job interviews. And to stay sharp and kind of awake, if you will, keto is that for me. So I'm more fluid. I'm more suave. I don't know, but I'm more awake. I don't perform as well at the gym, but my mental function and capacity function better while I'm in keto or low carb. So it's not just one thing. They're tools that you can use throughout. As long as you're feeding your habits the proper way.
makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that was my knee.
And so you saying that you feel sharper and everything, do you think that's because you're in that state of ketosis and your body is trying to help you be able to fill in those gaps, or why do you think like that
So-
improved cognitive like function is there?
So there's the theory that once you start into a fast, right?
Yeah,
Because when you start going into a fast, your ketones shoot up and you change into this metabolic adaptation running on ketones. And the idea is that back in the day, hunters and gatherers didn't have food, so they would jump into ketosis,
Yeah.
and their vision got sharper because they needed to hunt. Their energy spiked because they needed to hunt.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the idea behind it. I don't know how true it is,
Dang,
but
yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yeah, yeah. I have a test coming up here in about a couple weeks, so I think I'm gonna
Go keto.
go keto for the test.
Piece of butter.
No, it's interesting though. Like I mean, I really wish that there was like some studies that actually like studied that aspect of it. Because if so, it's like I don't know, you can figure out a little bit better how like the brain works compared to, like with our guts and stuff.
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
And
so
it's all tied in. It's an ecosystem.
The gut and the brain are essentially the same. There's a lot of serotonin and hormones being made in the stomach. That's why they call it the second brain. And through the vagus nerve is the communication that they have. So it's all in there. Like when people say it's a gut feeling, it's because their gut is actually kind of communicating. It's just all weird.
Yeah.
There's plenty of studies on that too.
Yeah.
What?
No, go continue. I'm just
Blowing
amazed.
his mind, man.
I've never even heard this on the Joe Rogan podcast. Just talking about this stuff. But go ahead. Sorry.
I don't
Dude.
know.
That's crazy.
Yay. So I guess to cap it out is our gut, our microbiome. There's more microbiome cells in our body that we have human cells.
So there's one thing that I remember hearing and it was like one of the reasons why we have such like higher obesity rates nowadays is because, and this is totally conspiracy theory, right? Is because of a higher antibiotic use, and it's killing our microbiome, right? Which is making us not be able to process like all the food effectively, efficiently, like in our colon or small intestine and stuff, compared to like 50 years ago or 100 years ago when antibiotics weren't really used as much.
Yeah.
And not just like the antibiotics they were using before because they were like penicillin and stuff. Now we have even stronger antibiotics because of antibiotic resistant bacteria.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think on that?
It's true. I can get behind that one because there's a lot of the leaky gut syndrome, right?
Yeah.
And if you hurt your microbiome and you start eating, then you have leaky gut, and that proteins get into your bloodstream, and your immune starts hyperacting, and then it's just
You
a
get
spiral.
autoimmune diseases and
Yes.
all that.
And that's the
insane.
same spike that we've seen.
I'm okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
What was the other thing too? Antibiotics. So one of the things that I tried to in the past, and when was the last time I did antibiotics? Anywho, so when you do antibiotics to kind of fix this problem, take probiotics like 2 hours after you take your antibiotics. It's not gonna be stopping the antibiotic, but at least you'll be throwing in a hand, so your stomach and your microbiome won't be that messed up after.
Yeah. I gotcha. And then I also heard that you want to be eating prebiotics too, so you can actually feed the probiotic bacteria.
Yes.
Like kimchi.
Yes.
And all these other like fermented vegetables and stuff. So like that's something that I've been trying on my own too, like lately.
Nice, bro. You never shared this with us.
We haven't talked about
You're
this before.
watching us eat like crap, and you know all this.
Over there with
It's your
kimchi.
fault.
I mean, a lot of it I do. It's a little bit easier when like your partner and you are on the same boat, you know. So like my girlfriend and I, we'll go through periods where we're like, okay, we've been eating okay for a while. Let's do like a couple of weeks where we, take our dose of like pro and prebiotics, and then we can like take a couple weeks off and lounge around and then get back onto it. So it's kind of like our cycles. So yeah, I do think it's a little bit easier when you have like a partner to help you with this stuff too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things too that I think I made a post a while back that you need like 4 things, right, to get in shape or to stay healthy, and that's protein, healthy amount of fat, limiting your carbs, and your community.
Yeah.
If you don't have a community, somebody they'll back you up and support you, it's gonna be super difficult to get anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my goals with this podcast too. Is like I said, like grow the west side of Phoenix, and maybe like people like you, because you live in the west. Like all of us live on the west side, except for Julio.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna move to Apache Junction.
Wow. But yeah, I don't really see much
Scottsdale.
going on this side. Well, at least like southwest of Phoenix. Like it's all like food trucks everywhere you go, which is good.
What's wrong with food trucks?
I love food, yeah, but I mean, as far as a community where people, hey, let's go to Estrella Mountain and go run with my neighbors here or something like that. I would like to see that more and have people like Hugo educate the kids and the parents too. To not just be inside their houses watching la novela and stuff like that. Like actually,
Did you see the last episode?
but to get off their ass and go. I just watch, dude. I don't like watching reels because there's a bunch of crap on there, right? But I actually saw one that shows this girl like working out, and then the kids are right next to her, and then the video said something about when kids are growing up, they see your mom, they see your dad working out, so that plays a big impact in their life, as far as once they grow up, if they're gonna exercise, if they're gonna be healthy, or what are they gonna be doing. And a lot of nowadays you just give kids a tablet to make them just
I think it's about enforcing those like positive behaviors and stuff too. So like if you as a parent are working out, you're active and stuff, your kid won't see working out as like I mean, it still is work, right? Because it's still like tires them out and stuff. But it isn't like I have to go work to be healthy. No, it's I'm having fun, and that's a workout.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty important too, and instilling like those values. So I was watching Hoarders with my girlfriend, and
Jesus.
the dude, the dad, was like a horrible hoarder, right? He had like his house was like super gross, dirty, like up to the ceiling, right, with stuff. And the kid, so in the episode, they like CPS gets called on them, and they take their kids, and the son is all mad and stuff, right, about like the dad being a hoarder and them thinking that this is like not a good environment for them. But then they go to the son's house, and his house is just the same. So it's like I'm sure he learned a little bit of that from the parent, right? So it isn't really like I don't know. It isn't really fair for the kid to be mad at the parent for being that way when he's the same way because he saw his dad be like that. So that goes back to your point, right? Of like teaching kids that you being healthy and having a good lifestyle and being active isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
And they see you doing that and they're like, I want to be like my dad. I want to be like my mom. And then they also like encapsulate those values. So I think that's pretty
It's like
good.
a learned habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, two good examples are these guys because both of them are parents, and
Mhm.
and I think
Mhm.
both of your kids are around the same age,
Yeah.
and he's got a lot of shit on his plate.
Yeah.
But he's still like we were talking earlier. Every night they sit down and they read together. You read your book, I read my book. He takes his son fishing or to the park, brings them over here. Always keeping them involved, and then but at the same time it's not just keeping them entertained with like objects or like other or it's like they are involved in the entertainment.
Yeah.
So I think that's another topic that we could get into, like how do you deal with everyday challenges like that, like as far as trying to manage time and manage your business, and on top of that your job and your family and sleep, because I know you take sleep as a pretty serious.
I do. So going back to the kids, kind of like something to touch on. And I heard this a while back, and it's always been in the front side of like it's always yeah. Anywho, it's your kids will not necessarily do what you say, but they'll do what you do.
What you do. Yeah.
It's they're always looking. They're always looking.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a reflection of your habits. If you're honest, they're gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you are sleazy and like be like, I'll just take this.
Yeah.
They'll see that and
They'll
be like,
be-
oh, that's okay,
Yeah.
right? So it's just leading by example,
Yeah.
and it's not so much what we say to them is what they see. But yeah, managing work, workouts, jujitsu, the business, the business. It's planning, and I'm trying to get into the habit of actually using my calendar and making blocks. I know that my little one goes to bed around 8:30, so 8:30 to 8:45, it's blocked off. So I can go and read with him or go sit with him while he sleeps and what have you. So there's always things that happen, but I always try and make that time.
Yeah.
Now with the new job that I got, I have more time. So when I get home, I help him with the homework. But yeah, so going back to kids and all this, we kind of touched briefly on it before we started talking. Is like, how do we create adversity, excuse me, for our kids? Because the adversity that I went through is not even a smidget of what my kids are going through. So how do I create manageable adversity for my kids?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't just be everything handed to them in a silver platter.
It's true.
And it's a challenge because you don't want to see your kids suffer or struggle,
Yeah.
but it's a necessity. Example today, I have weeds in the front of the house. I was like, all right, go out there. We'll supervise. And just have him build a character around that. And then he gets rewarded. He did a hobby, task, right? And start communicating that hard work pays out.
Right.
No matter if it's pulling the weeds or working on a spreadsheet, it's work.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a reward at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the reason you're doing it, but there's taking gratification of that work that you did.
Yeah.
Because everybody can just go and pull weeds and call it good, but somebody else can come in pulling weeds, arrange the rocks, make it nice and pretty, do the extra work for nothing, but be proud of that work. I don't know.
That's true.
That's,
You think that's true, Christian?
it is true.
Do you, I kind of think that you live by those ethos. Or
I try, man. I try. I'm still learning. He has more experience. He has 2 kids.
Oh, I thought you were going to call me older.
So still learning, still trying. It's very hard for me to balance. It's hard to balance like that. Still the work, life, family balance, right? I guess that's what it is.
family podcast.
Yeah, but
kids,
it's
work.
I try to, like you're saying, just be the example, do more, show more. That I'm trying to stay healthy, stay fit, do things, whatever we need to do, whether that's running or runs or hikes or anything, right? Just want to show my kid that it's just normal life of what we do, right? The fitness part. As far as spending time with them, I need to slow down on work a little bit. Right, I'm getting kind of ahead of myself lately of just working a little too much. So I have caught myself slipping a little bit. I haven't even been putting time into train, so I need to kind of readjust and figure out what I can
We
do
noticed.
Yeah, I know, right?
I haven't because I haven't been
You've
there
been
either.
so there we
Shame
go.
on
I
us.
almost got away with it.
I'm sorry,
But-
Eddie. I know.
I was out too. So.
But this coming week, right? We just got to get back on track. We'll just figure out how we can come back in. But I would like to be able to be more present at home and actually sit down and read. I do like that point of just sitting down and shutting everything off and reading before bedtime, because I do that, but not religiously, right? It doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
I just try the best, man. I don't know. Still learning.
How do you balance the
How do I balance everything?
how does one balance the two?
You just have to play it by ear.
Play
Because,
by ear, just keep adjusting, or what?
yeah.
I will say that planning your days helps a lot. I used to plan my days as far as setting alarms for every specific task, and once I
That's
stopped,
good.
now it's just I just free ball everything. But
That's
now
what I do, man. But it doesn't work, right?
no,
Like
it doesn't
work.
No, so you have to set timers. Okay, today I'm gonna go get my passport this week. Okay, I'm gonna set this day. It's gonna take me 2 hours or an hour, or at least for you to walk into the
USPS.
whatever.
So,
But
yeah.
I mean that's once again Jocko.
Yeah.
that's how he manages. Just
How do
stuff.
you manage time with your daughter? Because you got a lot going on too between everything you do. That's I don't know, man.
I would say my daughter is my priority as far as coming home from work. Lately I've been just been grateful for a lot of things.
Good.
I don't know. I've been setting timers actually
The timers.
throughout the day that will remind me to just think about things that I'm grateful for. So I've noticed a lot of my energy has how would you say improved or it's increased. My energy increased.
Right.
And yeah, if I'm having a shitty day, that alarm goes off and it tells me, hey, time to be grateful for something. I'm like, all right, I'm grateful for this shitty day because I'm learning something or whatever. So yeah, I just get home and I'm grateful for my daughter every day. And honestly, money, I feel like money's gonna be there, but your kids are only gonna be kids for X amount of time.
For sure.
So I rather not have the razor, not have all the fancy stuff, but be able to stay home and spend time with my daughter.
100%. Yeah.
Instead of paying for for something dumb, I'd rather spend that money on swimming lessons, freaking tournaments, whatever, because I know my daughter and my wife are gonna be there, And once I get that gold, you know, I get to
You can
show
take
it
a
off.
picture with her.
show it off with my daughter, and she's gonna remember that.
And that's-
Well, see the pictures.
It's
later
the value of experiences that they will not forget.
on. No,
They're not gonna remember the razor, dude.
no, they're not.
Remember
No, but
if we were there
fucking-
with them or not.
2050, they're gonna have like a flying freaking
Skateboard.
whatever. it's like now, and I think your dad could. I don't know if your dad had three wheelers. Did have three wheelers back
Yeah,
then?
we were kids, yeah.
So back then, the three wheelers were the
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 thing.
top shit,
Yeah, the
you know.
Hondas, yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's like the Razors or the YFZs 450s and all that.
Yeah.
But hey, remember those three wheelers? The ones that would like break everybody's
Arm. We're gonna roll over and die. Yeah.
That's cool. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu? Cause I know you're a purple belt and you also do judo.
Yes.
And you are, I'm not sure what kind of belt, but how long and how did you start your martial arts experience or journey?
5.5 years training at Abunai. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way that it happened, going back to kids, Gabe, my oldest, he wanted carne asada fries. At the old school, there was a Mexican restaurant next to it, so we stopped there to get carne asada fries for Gabe. And I peeked over at jiu-jitsu, like, ooh, what's going on over here? Started talking to Eddie. Bradley was there at the time. And I took the card. I talked to Gabe. He's like, hey, you want to do this? And he was like, oh, well, maybe. Come on, dude. I'll do it with you. We'll hold each other accountable for coming to class. And 5.5 years later, he's a blue belt. I'm a purple belt. So, yeah,
Nice, man.
that was great.
That's a good experience.
And it goes back, right, to the kids. So leading by example is like,
Yeah.
I know I suck at it because I never done it. You're probably worse than me.
Yeah.
Let's go at it together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
building those experiences with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I should probably get back to it. But
Should, man. Just once a week, man. Just
I
add
know.
1 day.
yeah, I know.
And it becomes 2 days and then 3 days and then
Maybe once I'm done with my studying.
yeah.
What are you studying?
A contractor license.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
Dude, it's something, right? It's,
Yeah.
It's legit. That's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's a lot. There's I mean, with like my normal job and just trying to manage everything, it is a lot. But yeah, I think it'll be worth it once it's done.
And how do you manage that time between work and the license, the schooling, and all that?
Yeah. I have a pretty consistent work schedule. It's like 7 to 3 every day. And so usually I'll just and my girlfriend and my routine, it's really like the same thing, like every day. Like we come home, we hang out for a little bit. I'll go study. She'll make dinner. We'll eat and I'll go study again. She'll like do whatever and then we'll go to bed. So I don't really have a lot of other like I don't have kids. You know, I don't have
You want one? I have a 17-year-old.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, one day for sure. I definitely like to. But yeah, I think as far as like time management, I do try to like use calendars and stuff, but I don't know. I don't like having like a spreadsheet of what I'm doing for like Apple and Microsoft to look at. I don't know, whatever.
They all know anyway.
I mean, true, they do.
You have a paper one, like just a
No.
hardback or something?
No. Usually I just, like I said, just kind of wing it and stuff. But yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's tough
Yeah.
to stick to calendars, man. It's
yeah,
tough.
it is tough.
The problem with calendars, like going into a phone and whatnot, is that you're like, oh, I'm gonna set this block. You're like, ooh, Instagram.
Yeah.
And then 3
Yeah.
hours later, it's like, where'd my time go?
It's
Yeah.
the notifications, dude.
Turn them off.
Because they pop up and then you're just like, oh, what is this?
I mean, same thing with the food, right? The food is engineered and curated to like keep you coming back to the food. Same thing with Instagram and social media and Reels and TikTok. That's why everyone was mad at TikTok. Like, was it 2 or 3 years ago? because it was so addicting. It was the content was, what was it like? I think it was a max of 10 seconds before or something like that, and now it's like a minute or even longer, right? Or a minute was before, now it's longer. That like short time span of such like small content made it so that you want to keep scrolling, and it's like so repetitive and so fast that you just like get sucked into it. So, and like they literally like engineer content to be like addictive like food like that.
There's a great book called Irresistible by Adam Alter, and it talks about that and how there's essentially a team of people trying to make it as addicting as possible. That way, because let me ask you guys this: what is the most important currency that you have?
Currency like money?
Like something with value. What is the most valuable thing you have?
To buy things, or just that it means everything to you?
In general, what is the most important currency value that you have, that you own?
Only the phone.
That I own? Probably my bike.
In
True.
what aspect?
My mountain
Or what
bike.
aspect are we
Yeah,
talking?
we talking about
Because we could
My
say
my
the
bitcoins. I have 10 bitcoins.
10 Bitcoin?
Nah,
Oh, I was
just
like,
fucking
what? I was like, bro.
Bro,
do you
we
know
wouldn't
how
be
much
stuck in
is?
this small room right now.
I was like, I don't think you've checked the price lately, bud. You could quit work for a minute.
So
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is, what is the most valuable thing we have, and that is time,
Yeah.
because you can't get it back.
True.
Time.
Money will come and go. You can always make more money. You cannot make more time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
That
just
is
a
true.
counter ticking away, though, man.
Yeah.
It's got to choose how to spend it better.
Yeah.
Ah, I see currency. Yeah, spend time. Okay.
But, and going back to the phone and all that,
Yeah.
is how much is your phone costing you? Right? Yeah, you paid a base price on it, but it's taking a time away from your studies. It's taking a time away from a potential second job, what have you. There's value associated with your time, and everything costs our time.
Yeah.
How are you gonna be spending it for the rest of your life?
Yeah. Yeah. Treating time as currency definitely has before made me be more conscious about how my spending habits, because I have a room that's basically filled with all my stuff, and my girlfriend calls it all my junk.
Hoarder.
And
that's what
Yeah,
happens
yeah.
for watching
Were
horror.
you on that
No,
episode
no,
of
no,
Hoarders?
mine is like in shelves. It looks good.
She's
so
probably
it's
throwing you
fine.
signals, buddy.
Um,
She's like, hey, well, I got something for you to watch.
But but
pattern.
I remember I think about reading this thing where it's like when you look at your stuff, all that stuff used to be money, but money is like hours that you work, and so all that stuff is basically time. And so you look at all the stuff that you have, and you're like, dang, I'm spending this much money, this much time on this stuff. Like maybe I should allocate my funds a little bit better, and I should like be more conscious about what I'm buying, because you can use that money to like elevate yourself. You can like buy like classes or study stuff, or I don't know, just like do
Books.
like use your money to make you
Invest in yourself.
Yes.
to
Yeah.
invest in yourself and to make you a better person. Yeah.
I love that. Dude, I agree. That's another thing, yeah. As far as money, just invest in yourself. We always talk about this stuff. If like I was doing that swimming thing, I still do it once in a while. But not only that, jiu-jitsu, now IT, and then we're doing this podcast, and we got, Spartan races and all that stuff. You can teach people how to do this and charge them. You can teach them how to swim, like how to swim with with your legs and your hands tied together for survival. I just did a go ruck, and I noticed that people are paying money to go to boot camp for like 3 hours. Because when I showed up and they just started micromanaging and yelling at us and get on your faces, dude. It was like, oh man, fuck.
I paid for
Oh,
this.
I was like, whoa, wait a minute, buddy, calm down. but yeah, same thing. You can move anywhere in the States or in the world and be able to teach what you teach you're a purple belt. You can teach jiu-jitsu, judo, whatever, and you're always gonna have a job, or there's always gonna be ways to make money.
Yeah.
So
As long as I have time.
Speaking
Yeah.
of that, I don't think we've said what he does as his side business. Because I know we mentioned he has a business, but what do you do as your business?
Which we-
Because not everybody really knows you. Because there's the guys that that may
Yeah.
listen.
So
to.
what is the name of your business, and then just what do you do
All right.
exactly?
So the name of the business is Metabolic Father Figures, and it goes back to being in shape and being a father, a dad, right? It was kind of a plate of the dad bod, but father figure. So, I guess what I do is nutrition coaching and fitness coaching on the side.
Cool.
I try to,
Yeah.
and I try to teach. Essentially, going back to my story of 270 to 180, is it took me 10 years to learn that. How can I help somebody learn that in a year instead of 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, don't do it the way I did it. Let me help you get it done and lose it forever and not go into that diet phase, lose it and then gain it back.
Yeah.
It's like, just let's build habits around food that you can use it to sustain your health. And that's what I do.
And you help people just get on track and
Yes.
through a plan of
Yeah.
like they come in with their stats and then you kind of
Help them out. Yep.
help them correct them where they need to be. Huh? It's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
It's awesome. How many customers you had so far, or how's it?
I had about a handful of them, 3 right now. So
Okay.
2 spots open. I just commit to 5 a year
Awesome.
at a
Nice.
time.
Yeah.
That's
Because
nice because
I
you can
still-
actually dedicate time to them and it's not just throwing them like
Yeah.
random info that they should be following.
Eat a celery.
Yeah, right. Eat celery. That's all you get. 1 cup of water.
So what would you tell people that say, "Yeah, I need to get in shape"? Oh yeah, I want to get in shape. I need to get in shape. What would your advice be to them?
Get started now.
Mm-hmm.
There's, what was it? The expression, there's 2 times to have started the fitness journey. It was 10 years ago and today. So don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow may not come.
Yeah,
Wow, that's pretty good, man.
true. You guys got any questions for him?
No, I think I sprinkled in all my questions and comments throughout the whole thing.
It's a lot of knowledge,
That
stuff
is,
that
dude.
I didn't really know.
I just know I'm under eating, man. I need to.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking about this before. So earlier you said that you want someone to eat, or it's ideal for someone to eat,
Big Noah.
a average of like 1 pound. I'm sorry, 1
Gram
1 gram of protein
per
to
body weight.
1 pound of body weight, right?
Yep.
And so for me, it's actually kind of hard to get that. So I would have to eat like 150 grams, right, of protein. I think your body can only process about 40 in a sitting or something like that, right?
That's what they said, but
Is it more? Can your body process more?
Yep.
So because before what I would do is I would try to like do like 40 or whatever it was, right? That I could get my max, and then sprinkle those out throughout meals, right? But then again, I like get full pretty quick, so I can't really eat a bunch of meals. And I know people say like sprinkle in like yogurt throughout as snacks and stuff, shakes obviously. But how do you reach that getting like that threshold?
like for me 200.
Yeah, because it's like I said, it's pretty hard for me. One, because I don't eat like really big meals, right? I get full really fast, and then I don't know, I don't have time to like, or I just don't remember to eat like little snacks throughout, and I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you think?
protein is probably the hardest macronutrient to actually get. For you, 150 would be at least 3 meals of 50 grams of protein each meal, and that's what 8-10 ounces of meat per meal. It's a lot. It's gonna be a lot, but that's gonna help you maintain muscle
Yeah.
and burn fat.
Yeah.
As far as, what was the other question? It was, how many grams of protein can you process at one sitting? There's one study that came out not that long ago that you can actually process more. The idea that you could only process 30, I think it was 30 back in the day, it was because that's what was in a scoop of protein or a protein bar.
Right.
So it's easier to sell
Okay.
because it's, this is the max I can eat.
It's always about money.
So, and have you ever gone to a steakhouse and ate as much steak as you wanted?
Mhm.
Did you start sweating? Did you get the meat sweats?
I don't remember, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Well, it can happen when you
yeah,
eat
yeah.
a lot of meat. You get the meat sweats because there's a thermogenic effect of food, and protein is very high.
Mhm.
So they say it's 4 calories per gram of protein, but in reality it's a little bit higher. But when your body is processing the protein, there's a lot of thermic energy being released to process the protein.
Yeah.
So let's say you eat 50, 60 grams of protein,
Mhm.
and you don't have any GI problems and you're fine. The protein just sits there and it's being consumed throughout the day.
Mhm.
So you can actually consume more than 30 or 40, whatever you can.
Hmm.
The limit that I have is how much protein can you eat before you have to run to the restroom? Because if you're uncomfortable, if you've got gas or GI problems, then that's probably the limit and you can bring it back a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it makes sense for sure.
Yeah, because it's not going to disappear. It's not going to turn into fat.
Yeah. I just always thought it turned into poop. I just always thought like it would just
Sounded
Come
so
out.
cute.
my body would be like, I don't need this, so poop. Okay,
I mean,
cool.
eventually everything goes through that channel.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that there's a lot of misinformation about nutrition and protein and all that, like the anabolic window and
Yeah.
only 30 grams,
Yeah.
what have you. But yeah, as long as your digestion can support it as much as you can.
So the anabolic window is also a myth. The 1 hour after.
Yeah,
Right.
it is, but it's not. So if your sleep is on point, if your nutrition is on point, if your working out is on point, if everything is on point, then the anabolic window might make a little sense. It might give you that 3%
Sure.
gain.
Yeah.
But in reality, if your sleep is off, that doesn't matter. If your nutrition is off, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So it's building a whole. Think about nutrition, fitness, building a whole.
Yeah.
Do you want to use a spoon?
Yeah.
Or you want to use a backhoe?
Yeah.
And the backhoe is your sleep,
Yep.
is your protein,
Yep.
and your overall calories throughout the day.
Yeah. What about people that say alcohol kills your gains?
There's some truth to that.
Okay.
And my argument is that it's because it screws up your sleep.
Okay.
Oh,
So the alcohol itself.
That makes sense.
So technically, you could drink early in the morning. What's because I don't know the half life of alcohol for it to affect your your sleep, but what
Go on. I'm just being a dumbass, dude, like always.
drink in the morning, sleep fine, your gains wouldn't get affected. But if you drink later, which people usually do, right?
Yeah.
Then it affects your sleep and kills your gains.
Yeah, there's other factors, right? There's alcohol or beer is made with wheat.
Yeah.
And if you have a wheat intolerance or celiac kind of based disease,
Sure.
then you're going to stomach leaky gut.
Leaky gut.
So you have more autoimmune problems. So you're affecting your health in other ways that you can potentially affect your gains.
Interesting.
But the big one is sleep.
Yeah.
I really can't remember the half-life of alcohol, but it's a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caffeine itself, it's like 8
Like
hours.
Yeah, that's what they say. Don't have a cup after lunch or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
As we're
Oh,
drinking our
whoops.
caffeine.
Well, I
Day
have to go out
consumption.
tonight, so this should be good for me, I guess.
It's the weekend.
That is my lunch.
More caffeine, dude.
It's all good, man. So where can people find you?
My
Social
house.
media.
Oh, yeah.
Don't give out your address, man.
Do you have what do you have? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah. So I have
LinkedIn.
it. LinkedIn, too.
LinkedIn,
But that's my
yeah.
professional one. It's weird.
You got the nice photo.
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn is always good. But go ahead.
The Health Engineer. That's Instagram. And then I try to make it more official and made the Metabolic Father Figures coach. So that's mmf.hugo or mmf.coach.hugo.com or at Instagram, sorry. And thehealthengineer.com.
Okay.
Right on.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys got any more questions for him? Thank you for coming. A lot of stuff happened throughout this podcast, but we'll figure it out. But I'm very grateful and thank you for coming. ever since we started this, even though it's our third episode, like you were in my head because you have a lot of knowledge, and I feel like people should pick your brain and learn from that, and pay you to learn from that.
It's better to pick your brain than pick your nose.
There you go.
Yeah,
Especially
man.
somebody else.
But yeah, you're a good father. You're a good friend, jiu-jitsu partner, I think coach.
Coach.
Find him at Albunai on Sundays.
Sundays at 5.
Sundays at 5. We have a Spartan race coming up. I'm pretty sure you don't want to do it, or if you do,
I'm too old for
And
it.
a literal run. We do have a
and a
literal
lich
run.
5K run too.
Oh, yeah.
5K might be in the book sometime.
We're still learning this whole podcast thing and the Instagram and the social media stuff. As far as like, would you call it marketing or just putting it out there?
Putting it-
Yeah,
just
putting
letting
it out
ride,
there.
man.
Yeah,
Just letting
so
it ride. We're just showing up, like you said.
so our goal is to put the events we're gonna be part of throughout the year, and if people want to challenge us, they can always challenge us, but they have to be there. So if someone is gonna do like a marathon or whatever and want us to come out, we'll go out there, but they have to show up too. And
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
competition.
Sign me up for a deadlift competition.
But yeah, man. Anything else, guys?
I have one question for you guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What does thrill quest mean to you specifically? Not for the podcast, but for you, as in your own personal experience.
Oh, dude.
It's a good one, man. Living in the moment, just day by day. It's kind of taking the opportunity to do things, to do new things that come up. That's how I see it. For me, it's kind of like just
For myself, I see it as kind of like being on this journey where you go out and you give yourself like that thrill, right? Whether that thrill is bettering yourself or getting a PR or trying a new thing or going out and meeting new people, like whatever your definition of thrill is. Like for me, it's becoming a better version of myself by studying, by meeting new people, by networking. So that's what Thrill Quest means to me. And like the podcast encapsulates that because I get to like meet new people, talk to them, learn about them, and also try something that
Very uncomfortable.
to see, try something new to see if it's still possible for a podcast to become good in 2024 because of the oversaturated market. Because everyone and their grandma has a podcast.
Yeah, my grandma's one's pretty good.
To
But that's what it means for me. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
me, is I have that fire lit up ever since. Oh, dude, I don't know. It's that thrill quest. Like, just go out there and do random. If you have an itch for something, just go and do it. Don't just think about it and just wonder if it's gonna work or not. Because they said all the best ideas, or all the billionaires are in the grave, right? Because those ideas never came out. So, to me, a thrill quest is having that thrill of doing uncomfortable things that are gonna benefit you in some sort of way. And I think we're living by those, what would you call them, ethos, or by that what would you call it,
Ideals.
ideals. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't want to die tomorrow not knowing that I didn't do everything I could, that I wasted my life. That it's never too late. Like, you can do whatever you want. We live in a country that, yeah, it could be better, but you are able to do whatever the fuck you want, dude. You can do anything. And you know what to do, but the reason why you don't do it is because it's uncomfortable for an extended amount of time. After that, it gets better and better and better. Yeah.
Getting those reps in.
Yeah, getting those reps. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but you know what to do. You want to get in shape, you know what to do. You want to start a business, you know what to do. Just start it. You hate your job, you want a new job, you know what to do.
That's what I did.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And if people want to come out here and, be part of our podcast, it's only going to get better. We're only learning. I learned a lot from this episode, and surround yourself with people that have the same goal. What does Eddie say? Surround yourself with is it
with
people that have the same goals, pretty much.
With like-minded people.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded.
Yeah,
what they say, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with.
and that's true. My phone is just this guy, this guy.
Find what's in here.
Yeah, and
Fuck.
but yeah, and now we'll add you to the group chat. Now we could just exchange ideas and help you grow your channel, your social media, and
Appreciate it.
And like he said, this is a challenge for us to see if we can make it to the podcast.
Yeah, because I don't know in English and I'm here.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. I knew I didn't understand anything you said.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
but yeah, man,
It's all jokes. All jokes.
thank you for coming, and
No, I appreciate the invite. It was fun.
I hope there's an episode. You could come out sometime in the future again and talk about how things have been going for you and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, anything else?
I think I'm good.
Spartan race,
Spartan race,
February,
Litchfield Run, Mountain to
something.
Fountain,
Mountain Fountain. That's in March.
March. Oh, so this month we just have Spartan and then
Litchfield.
Litchfield the 5K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Monday morning, you'll see me at Abunai.
I
Back at it.
won't see you.
Back at it.
At 4 a.m. I'll be there to make sure you're there.
No, you won't.
And I'll make sure you're there
No, you won't.
on Monday.
Is
I'm
that
gonna make sure he's there.
Hey, don't believe him. He says he wakes up at 4:30. He doesn't wake up at 4:30
okay? Why?
because I called him and
You-
he was still asleep.
You have to call him.
I called him and he was still asleep.
Hey, the episode
So-
is over, dude.
Hey, this still says record. What are you talking about?
Okay, last story.
What are you talking-
Tell them what we did the night prior.
We pissed in an alleyway. I think if I remember.
Not that.
We went out to like a.
Signed up.
We signed up for like a networking thing. With one of the. I think they're like a software company or something like
A
that.
VMware company. They shared a group on LinkedIn.
Yeah, they just had like a social, and we just showed up to meet them, talk to them, and it was
Open
fun.
bar.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Try waking up. You just talked about
I did,
the
though.
reason why beer.
You just said try to wake up, but I did.
You did, yeah. That's
So we'll start over on Monday then.
no
Yeah.
excuses.
On
All right.
Monday.
No excuses, boys.
Thank you, guys.
Well, ready? 3, 2.
Ah, you guys. Sounds like a jiu-jitsu class now. Ready? On 3.
Sounds like